Hi, this is lesson 1 for the Apache Longbow. Um, Mainly with this video I want to show how this window effect was created here. You can see, can't mark each select, but you can see that the windows kind of have an oil sort of substance behind them, or on them. And that was mainly because I saw the way another guy did his windows and it looked so cool, but I wasn't able to do it inside Maya, so I used compositing instead. Um, so in this video I'm going to show final renders, the source images used to create the scene. Um, I'm going to show how it was done in Maya. And then move over to Photoshop to show how the compositing was done. So I did many different renders and we'll take a look at a few of them now. I'll just scroll through. These are the final submissions that I submitted. I really like the look of those three there. You can see the shadows are different on each one, fiddling about with shadows and colours and all sorts. And then I've got a big sequence of renders here. From final render 5, so I'll just scroll through those, many different ones. And that's back to the beginning. So I want to show the source images for the Apache. I just did web searches to get all this information because obviously I modelled it from the ground up, so it was quite a lengthy process. We'll go into that on a later date. These are the image planes that I used for if you've never done any modeling before, or maybe you have, you'll know that you use image planes to construct the geometry and get everything in the right place. And then the picture behind, if you can see there, this picture behind the Apache, I know it doesn't look very realistic, but I did this when I was quite young, so, and I was only a beginner at the time. This was done in 2010, 5 years ago, and this background here is from the village green at the house that I used to live at, Low Green Barn in Gargrave in Yorkshire. So up here I've just got a load of source images for the green that I took with a regular camera, just a Sony Cybershot I think it was. Probably not, might be my iPhone, can't remember. So now we'll go over to Maya. I'm just looking at my notes. Render stats for Windows. Right, so these are the windows here, and you can see primary visibility listed under render stats. So like if you select any of these objects, normally it's like this, but you just look at the poly surface. Obviously each object's got a different shader attached to it, so you can scroll across and take a look at that. That's a Lambert. But for the windows, a Fong is generally good for glass. And under render stats, you've got primary visibility. So if I render camera 1 now, I'll just bring up the render view. Render, I'll just turn that off. And we'll go render camera 1. Just takes a while. It's HD 720. I wanted it to be big enough. You can see that the visibility for the windows is on at the moment, but you can turn that off. So the Fong is like glass, so it reflects stuff. That's why it looks kind of strange at the moment. I'll just minimize that and turn the primary visibility for the windows off. Go back to the render view, and just re-render. And we need to use visibility for different stuff. It's kind of important when you're rendering, because in a moment we're going to show how alpha masks were used to do a bit of compositing inside Photoshop. So you can see the windows there are missing from the scene, and you can see the geometry behind the windows. What we want to do is create an alpha mask for these windows here, and we want to get it looking like this here. So the way that's done is we want to select these objects here, and we want to I'm just going to select the windows and turn the visibility back on, and then for the handle the visibility is on for that. And we want to opposite to be done here, because double-sided means you can see objects behind something. Opposite just means the polygons opposite the camera sort of orthogonal to it. So we need to select that and select the handle, and then bring up the render dialog, the render view, and this time we want to render selected objects, so only the ones that we selected there. And now we want to render the camera again. And you'll see that only the windows are rendered. And this is kind of coloured here, but because we're rendering alphas as well, if we look at the alpha, which is this is what you get. So now, if we go over to Photoshop, that's what I brought in to Photoshop, and from there I was able to create some alpha masks. So I rendered both the regular RGB of the Apache gunship and the scene and everything, and the alpha mask, and I brought it into this file here, which is some sort of final file. So here, if we take turn the visibility for all the layers off, here we've just got different Apache gunships, different versions that are coloured slightly differently, and you can see each one of these, it looks like a stencil where there's holes in the object for and we're going to put something on the lower layer so that it pops up through it like a stencil. And if you look here, it says these are called layer masks. I won't show how layer masks are created because I can't quite remember, but it's fairly simple to do. So each one of these is like that, and then all you need to do is include something below there. So I've got this one here to put below it. This one, that's just the Fong reflectivity Fong glass sort of shader. Those weren't rendered using the opposite thing though. But the main ones we're interested in is some source material that I just basically got some oil off the internet, and you can see this is just pixel shading data blitted from the frame buffer out of a web browser, and it's just an image of some oil. And the same for this one at the bottom here, which is just a sky, and you can move these around too. Well, I thought you could, but so what I do is switch the oil on, and then put one of the Apache gunships on like this, and then just because this layer is selected, I can then move it around behind here and get the kind of look that I want. So you can get any images off the internet for that sort of thing. You could use fractal geometry or any sort of interesting. You could use procedurally generated sort of colourful things made with algorithms some programmers are very good at doing that. That's a sky scene. The oil is the most interesting one. So you just place it properly, and then you can start modifying the colours as well. This is just something that I remember. Image adjustment levels. If you move this about, you can kind of change it a little bit. Let's change this a bit. That looks kind of funky. You want it bright. That's much darkness in it. And that's pretty cool. And that's the kind of thing you can do. That's about it. That's all I had planned for this video. 11 minutes in. Right. Thanks. Bye.